Alrighty, Love for Life here, bringing guys a brand new video, and this is going to be a different one, kind of, at least in terms of what you're watching, if you are watching. This can be literally treated as a podcast. I have no idea what to put as the actual video, so I figured since we had a chaotic Shadow Warriors game, and I have currently no way of recording the PS3 copy I own, I would play Shadow Warrior 2, because it's Shadow Warrior 2. Same thing, kind of, not really. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay in the background, but really what this is going to be is me telling, why am I doing this? 3 embarrassing stories from back when I was a kid playing Chaotic, because I had 3 major mess-ups as a kid, or at least 3 embarrassing things happened involving Chaotic as a kid, and I've been thinking about them a lot lately, and I'm like, okay, let's have some fun and talk about some of the crazy stuff that happened as a kid. I got some other stories, but they're not as, embarrassing as these, and I figured you guys would get a kick out of it, and I'll be honest, it's going to be a while before I get some other videos going. But anyways, so this is going to be pretty much in chronological order. So first up, first embarrassing story. This is, God, I want to say a month or 2 after I got into the game, like really invested into it, and I was on a winning streak. Okay, I was playing in the online game, and I was just on a winning streak, game after game after game after game, winning. Now, here's the thing, I got a big ego as a kid. Okay, I was like, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing well, I can do this, I'm gonna be the best player ever. As a kid who doesn't have money to buy as many packs as somebody who's a grown man or a grown woman and, grown person who has a job and can buy as many packs as they want, and I just had to rely on my parents buying me the occasional pack at Target. I'm not even joking about that. Target was like my main place for getting cards as a kid. But, I digress. So, I had this, just ego, and I go into the, rankings, okay? Now, on the ranking leaderboards for the online game, you could challenge anybody who was currently online in the rankings. And me thinking that I am the best player ever, who had been going on a winning streak for the past few days, saw that the second best player online was, online. And I'm like, I can take him. That's what I thought. I'm like, yeah, I can take him. So I had basically all Dawn of Param Mepedians, and they weren't even good ones. Like, I didn't have Brave, and I didn't have the original Prince Medinu. So the fact that I was doing as well astounds me. I think it's because I was playing not in Master, but Apprentice. So for those who don't know, there is 2 rule sets to Chaotic, Master and Apprentice. Master is the way the game is intended to be played, with music and abilities and all that fun stuff. Apprentice is made to get your feet wet and learn the basics of the game. Basically, abilities and music cannot be used, so it's straight up just beat your opponent, beat them down. It's basically caveman Chaotic, and it's okay. It's great for teaching the bare bones basics. The only thing that locations have going for them is initiative. I don't think initiative effects are activated either. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've actually read the rule sets for Apprentice, but I digress. So, me being this stupid kid who was doing super well in Apprentice games challenges the second best player who was on at the moment. Okay, and by that I mean he was literally the second best player in the leaderboards. I remember his screen name too. It was DadRox123, DadRox123, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take him down. I'm gonna beat him. I'm gonna win. And then I'm gonna jump instantly from number 9 million to the top of the leaderboards. So I challenge him, and he, to my astonishment, accepts. So I load up the game, and this was before the game was integrated into the website in the Unity engine, and it was as a separate application. So, loads up, and we get into the game, and it's master rolls for one thing, and the guy... So I have all these dinky little crappy Mopedians, okay? The dude is staring down me with like freaking Kaor, Lord Von Bloat. I think he had an Ultradur, some other like really just good freaking powerful Underworlders. And I'm just like, oh, I am so screwed. I even said something like that in the comment in like the chat box. I'm like, oh, I'm screwed, aren't I? And he goes, yep. Or something like that. And the funny thing is that even though it was completely one-sided, I think I got close to beating his Kaor. I remember I got really close to beating his Kaor. But other than that, it was one-sided. I mean, obviously. Okay. But he was really nice about it. He was great about it. Just an overall really nice, great dude. And we actually became really good friends after this. He gave me a lot of tips, taught me how to play a master format. He would even give me free codes from time to time because he did not care for Mopedians one bit. But he knew that I loved them, so provided that they weren't like super or above, he would just send me all his Mopedian codes from time to time, including like locations, battle gear, stuff like that that would be good for them, and would give me a lot of pointers. He was a really great guy, and I would love to meet him again. I don't know if he's still interested in Chaotic, but it was awesome. I'm a bit embarrassed. I was so egotistical to think that I could take down the second best player in Chaotic. But, God, it was fun. I don't think we ever dueled again either, now that I think about it. I don't remember us ever dueling again, which I really wish we would have, because it would have been interesting to see if I could have taken them on later on when I actually had some better cards. I mean, I still never had great cards as a kid, but I did have better cards later on. That being said, I remember distinctly he actually ended up quitting Chaotic because he did not like the Marillions and he did not like where the game was going. And also I think he said he had some life things going on too. I can't remember fully. I mean, it's been over a decade, so I do remember that. Now then, second embarrassing story. Okay, so this one requires another story to kind of lead up into it. So, as a kid, I had crap luck for pulling anything good. Obviously, nowadays, people would argue that I have amazing luck with pulling stuff. I can't really dispute that either. But as a kid, I pulled garbage. Okay, I rarely ever pulled anything that was super or above. And grand total, I pulled 3 Ultras, Iparu Jungle, which was my first, Heptad, and eventually Kaor. Now, Heptad was my first good ultra rare. Obviously, because Iparu Jungle is not particularly great. But I was pretty happy with pulling Heptad. I remember distinctly me and my friend, we went up to Target, and we got a whole bunch of chaotic packs, and I remember his mom was like, grab about, however much you want, just don't go crazy. And so we got a whole bunch of packs and some starter decks and stuff. And I'd never gotten any of the Dawn of Peril starter decks before, and they had some at Target. And so I got one, and I pulled a Heptad out of it. I was super excited. It was so awesome, and I did not pull anything except for a Vivarf out of my Silent Sands packs, of course. And my friend is like, dude, give me your Heptad, and the instant I pull a Blaziken, I'll give you the Blaziken. And I'm like, dude, no, you have as bad luck as me. There's no way you're going to pull a Blaziken. And so I'm like, you're never going to pull a Blaziken. I'm not trading my Heptad. I'm keeping it. And the thing is, he knew I didn't really particularly care for Overrollers at the time. He played Overrollers religiously. So it was a bit of a dick thing for me to do, but he was just asking me to give it to him in the hopes of him ever pulling a Blaziken. He'd just give it to me in return. And, of course, at the time, I didn't think that would actually happen. Next day, he calls me up. He's like, dude, I pulled a Blaziken. I'm like, what the hell? And sure enough, he did, and he refused to give it to me. I was going to give him the Heptad, but he's like, no, you already entered it in the code thingy. I'm not going to do that. So, yeah, I screwed myself over on that, but I was still super desperate to get a Blaziken. So this is where it gets embarrassing. So I'm trying so hard to get a Blaziken. No one wants Heptad for some reason. I mean, he's not a great card. He's a good card, but I digress. And War Beasts were popular at the time. This was I'd say about a good month or two after Silent Sands probably came out. I don't know. It was before Marine Invasion started and after Silent Sands came out, sometime in that time frame. But I was desperate. I was desperate. I wanted a Blaziken. So I go onto the forums and I'm like, hey, is anybody willing to trade my Heptad for a Blaziken? I don't care about stats or anything. I just want one. I got a few responses, but the first one I got, the dude messaged me on the forums and he was like, hey, for reasons I cannot explain, I can't trade you the Blaziken online, but I will give you his code. You guys probably already know where this is going. So, me being an idiot kid, I'm like, no one lies online. So, we agreed to a trade. He gave me a Mudinu, the original Mudinu, obviously. This is way before Champion of the Guard came out. And in exchange, I'd give him the Heptad, and then he'd send me the code for the Blaziken. So we do the trade. And then he blocks me on the forums. Or if he didn't block me, he never responded. And yeah, I got screwed over. I was a stupid kid. I should not have listened to that. And I contact customer service for help. And they're like, we're sorry, but once we can't back out any trades. We can't do anything like that. You should know better than to trust people online. And I was like, I'm that stupid 11-year-old or 12-year-old. I forgot how old I was. God, it was probably about a decade ago. So yeah, 12 years old, 11 years old, about there. Cut me some slack here. And they wouldn't give me any slack whatsoever. And I remember they actually like freaking made a like forum announcement like formal forum announcement of that, hey, don't be a dingus and don't just give cards to people in exchange for a code. I should have known better. And it's just looking back on it, it's hilarious, but I was such an idiot as a kid. I really thought that you could just trust the dude. But no. Then on cherry on top, and this was just poor foresight, I actually was so mad and so distressed, I did not even want to look at Heptad after that. So I gave my Heptad card to one of the school bullies who was constantly mean to me, and was just not a nice guy overall. And I gave it to him because I knew he liked play over rollers, and I was kind of hoping he would take it as like a sign of, like, I don't know, peace or something. I don't know. I just didn't want to see it, and I didn't want to ever look at Heptad again, and I figured, hey, the card game's never going to go away, so I don't need it. I can't play it online. What's the point of playing it in real life? God, I hate myself and my lack of 20/20 vision, but I digress. So yeah, I gave it to him, and funny enough, like he actually never bullied me again after that. It's kind of nice that I gave him a freaking ultra rare card, and he finally stopped being mean to me. But I digress. So okay, now for I know I said these were also in chronological order, but this is also my most embarrassing chaotic story. So this is towards the end of the game, okay, and this was just after so they introduced the Unity engine application onto the website, and at first it was optional. You didn't have to use it, so I stuck with the application that you download separately. Okay, my computer was a literal potato, basically. I could not play the website application on on my crappy computer from back in the day. So it basically ignored that web application. Then they eventually shut down the servers for the separate online application, the one that you had to download and go to separately, and made it to where if you want to play online, you have to use the web application, the one using Unity and everything. And I'm like, okay, what do? I can't play the game anymore. There was no local game store within my area, and even if there was, there's no way my parents would drive me out to go play at any time that I wanted. And so I was really screwed over. I was really mad. I won't lie, at the time I was thoroughly addicted to Chaotic. I would get home from school and I would play pretty much until it was dinner time, then I would do my homework, then I'd just hop on again and play more. It was the only thing I played for a really long time. And suddenly having that ripped out of my hands like that really hurt me. So I go on the forums, and this is where it gets embarrassing. And I make this super long, super grandiose post on the forums demanding that the application, the separate one, the bad one, be made available again. Be made to be able to be used again. And what was embarrassing about it was one particular line that got me a lot of crap from people. So much so that some of my friends who saw it were like, dude, what's wrong with you? And I said something along the lines that, like, Chaotic isn't just a game, it's life, or something like that. I can't remember the exact line, but it was something really cheesy like that. And I was really, I thought that, hey, maybe people would, understand where I'm coming from and stuff. And no, I got all the crap, and I fully deserved it too. That was not a good post, and so I was so embarrassed by it. And people were telling me to go out and get a life, go outside, stuff like that. And so I'm like, yeah, you know what? I can't play the game. I just embarrassed myself. All my friends are calling me losers online too, and I even like lied to people and said that no, it was my cousin who got onto my account and did that to embarrass me. And it actually, some people believed it. It was kind of surprising, but no, it was me. I made that post, and that post haunts me to this day. I'm sure if you use the Wayback Machine or something, you can probably find it. Maybe, I don't know if the backup forums has all the old forum posts or anything. I've been scared to try and find it. My username on Chaotic back in the day was Darkrai110. And, oh god, that was just so embarrassing. And the cherry on top, so I leave the game. I come back a few months later to check it out, see what's up. And, no. I check back a month or two later, and they have all the advertisements for Fire and Stone. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I come back a month or two later, and the site's exactly the same. And I'm like, what the heck? And I know correlation does not equal causation, but in my brain, I instantly thought, oh my god, I killed Chaotic. I was so cringy that people wanted to stop playing the game. That's what I thought. Oh my god. I didn't know anything about the lawsuit, and then I went into the forums, and thankfully, no one even knew that who I was or what happened and anything. And so that was how I went down the rabbit hole of figuring out what the heck happened to Chaotic, and I started reading all these posts and following a bunch of different things. And oh god, that's a story for another day, maybe, about because I followed a lot of different places trying to figure out what the heck happened to Chaotic, because I was so confused, and I legit thought that I killed Chaotic with how cringy I was as a stupid kid. So yeah, those are my three embarrassing stories from my time playing Chaotic as a kid. I got some other stories I can probably tell, fun ones, interesting ones, nothing too crazy, honestly. These are just the three main stories that I have stuck and ground into my brain, because my brain likes to latch onto the stupid things I do, or the other, like, just bad things that happen to me and stuff. My brain always just likes to latch onto that, and I'm like, that's gonna haunt me for my whole life. So, guys, did you have any cringy, embarrassing stories from when you were a kid playing Chaotic? Or maybe if you weren't a kid playing Chaotic, did you see anybody do something cringy or embarrassing as a kid? Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. See y'all later. Peace out and goodbye.